Hello, little friends. How are we doing? I have a fun book today. This book is fun to me because this was a favorite of my Aunt Belle's when she was a little girl. And when I was growing up, my Aunt Beverly was my favorite person. I just loved her so much. And anyway, her favorite book when she was a little girl was Dr. Dan the Bandage Man. Now, I don't know if you've ever heard of this book before. It's one of the little golden books, and I think little golden books are good fun. This is an older one. I don't even know if it's in print anymore. But I do know that when this book first came out, it used to come with a Band-Aid in it. Now, mine doesn't have a Band-Aid in it anywhere, but they used to come with a Band-Aid. And there's also one called Nurse Nancy. You know, now that I think about it, it might have been Nurse Nancy that was Aunt Belle's big favorite. I don't know, but this is Dr. Dan the Bandage Man, and that's what we're going to read about today. Excuse you, ma'am. No home training. Dr. Dan the Bandage Man. Look at those pictures. It's like the Old West. Dan is a busy fella. He is always on the go. Sorry. It just hit me. My bad. Dan is a busy fella. He is always on the go. But one day, in a big backyard cowboy fight, he fell and scratched his finger on his make-believe gun. Probably would censor it now. And what do you think that big cowboy did? He cried. You better toughen up if you're going to be around here, bucko. Boo-hoo-hoo, Dan cried. And he ran in the house to his mother. Big sissy. And there's Mama. Oh, the mamas are precious, loving on their little boys. I love my little boy. Now, his mother was always glad to see Dan, but a cowboy crying? How could that be? That's right, Mama. That's right. Why, that's nothing to cry over, Mother said when she saw the bright red spot. She's thinking, oh. So there's Mama taking care of Dan. We'll wash it clean with soap and water and bandage it up, and it will be better than new. And quick as a wink it was. That Mama's so sweet. She's going to be praying tonight, though. Back went Dan to the cowboy fight, and all the boys gathered around his... And all the boys gathered around to see his new, clean bandage, too. I just really do love this art in this book. Look at those cowboy boots. I had one of these when I was a little girl. I had a holster. There's a picture of me with my holster and cap gun. Next day, Nan hitched up Spotty, his pup, to take his sister Cat Carly's doll for a ride. You know Carly. You know Carly Grace. Carly Grace is going to get married soon. But Spotty saw a cat and he wanted to chase, and he forgot all about that doll. Lickety-split, Spotty started off. That's about right. And it's a black cat, too. That dog is looking for trouble. Oh, no. It looks like Carly took a tumble. The wagon tipped over. The doll tumbled out, and Carly started to cry. My baby hurt herself because the doll had a bump on her head. Now, how did that happen? That dang Spotty. No home training. We know about dogs with no home training. Oh, look at that. This is nothing to cry over, said Brother Dan. I know just what to do. Now, that ain't the sweetest thing. So he led Spotty and Carly into the house, and he carried her hurt little doll himself with a rather bad bump on her head. That is just a gentleman. I'm real pleased with Dan today. We'll wash it clean, said Dan, and he did. We'll bandage it up, and he did that too. I wonder where he learned that from. He pulled out the little string on the bandage wrap. Y'all know the little piece of red thread that comes in the Band-Aids? Or, well, I don't know about these Dollar Tree Band-Aids, but the Band-Aid stuck on Band-Aid brand, it got a little red string in there, and you pull the string, and yeah, okay, never mind. He pulled out the little string on the bandage wrap. He picked the bandage out and held the two stiff pieces, and zip, that bandage was on the doll's head. And they call them a bandage. We call them Band-Aids here in East Texas, Southwest Arkansas. There, smiled Dan. She's better than new. Now, said Carly, I want one too. They always do. They always do. Are you hurt? Asked Dan. I don't know, Carly said, looking for a scratch, and sure enough, she found one. It was a very tiny scratch, and rather odd, but it was a scratch just the same. I'll tell you what, Piper Lane would have been out there picking a scab to make herself bleed so she could get a Band-Aid if her brother had one. Dan washed it clean and bandaged it up. Thank you, said Carly. It's better than new. Well, it wasn't real bad to begin with, but that's okay, Carly. Woof, said Spotty and held up his paw. Dan laughed. I guess you must want a bandage too. So he put one on Spotty's paw. Don't know how that sucker's going to stick to all that fur, but that's not my business. All right. Now, Daddy was home from work. He went out to mow the lawn. And what do you think? He cut his finger on a slippery, sharp lawnmower blade. You don't see many lawnmowers like that anymore. Thank gosh. Let me fix you up, Dad, said Dan. I know what to do. We'll wash your finger clean and bandage it up, and it will be better than new. Dan's got him a racket going. He's done figured stuff out. Dad looked surprised, but followed Dan, and soon Dad wore a bandage too. How about that outfit? We just screaming mid-50s. You're a handy fella to have around, said Dad, and he shook Dan's hand. I have a new name for you. We'll call you Dr. Dan the Bandage Man. And they do to this day. So we will too. The end. There's Spotty and Carly's dog. I hope y'all love Dr. Dan, the Bandage Man. And you know, next, I need to find me a copy of Nurse Nancy so we can go back and visit that one too, which is the one I'm pretty sure really was my Aunt Belle's favorite. I get confused because I am getting old. Mimzie loves you.